Welcome back to another edition of Building a Sustainable and Enjoyable Creative Agency. It's been a busy couple of months over here at Frank and Harvey. We're in the process of a rebrand, and here's a sneak peek of our new logo. Really had a hard time through this process figuring out what our slogan should be, because we do so many different things. But where we landed is this: Frank and Harvey, building brands, creating content. This week also, we're kicking off the process of a new website. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I haven't updated the website in like 10 years. So yeah, I've had kind of a shift in my mindset that, if I'm going to be out there selling, marketing, and advertising, we probably should practice what we preach. But in other news, a couple weeks ago, I officiated my brother-in-law's wedding. And so Sarah and I took the kids and hung out in Denver for a few days and then headed up to Estes Park for the wedding. The boys and I formed a scooter gang. We saw some elk in Estes Park. Owen and I checked out Rourke, one of my favorite clothing companies. Really lived, laughed, loved the shit out of the week. I also scored this sweet wolf shirt while thrifting with Audrey. And then last weekend, I got invited to ride motorcycles with a few buddies to the slimy crud run in Wisconsin. My friend Jared grabbed this pic of me as I was filled with glee from the ride. I met this guy who had the same three-wheeler that I ran into a barbed wire fence with when I was about 8 years old, and I showed him my scars. Then after the 250-mile ride, we went over to Dave's house and we talked about life and bikes, while looking at all the restorations, including the ones that were in his living room. He had this great quote hung in the shop from Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. A motorcycle functions entirely in accordance with the laws of reason, and a study of motorcycle maintenance is really a miniature study of the art of rationality itself. After visiting Dave's shop, I went ahead and picked up that book again, and I've been revisiting it. And this quote sums up why I love riding. In a car, you're always in a compartment, and because you're used to it, you don't realize that through that car window, everything you see is just more TV. You're a passive observer, and it is all moving by boringly in a frame. On a motorcycle, the frame is gone. You're completely in contact with it all. You're in the scene, not just watching it anymore, and the sense of presence is overwhelming. I spent most of my childhood on a dirt bike. My grandma and grandpa took us on these epic trips to ride huge enduro trails, and I learned a lot about myself on those trips. I learned about grit. I learned about resilience. I also learned that the obstacle is the way. My grandpa taught a principle of riding that has stuck with me both on a motorcycle and in life and business, and he would say, always look ahead where you want to be. Don't look down where you are, because you will crash. In the book, The Zen and Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, the author goes on to say, you look at where you're going and where you are, and it never makes sense. But then you look back at where you've been, and a pattern seems to emerge. As we're going through the branding process of Frank and Harvey, or the rebranding process, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on where I've been in my career, and through that process I've started to see some patterns emerge. There's the pattern of good work just leads to more work. There's the pattern of trying really hard not to chase trends in marketing. And then the ultimate pillar for me is that we try to be refreshingly authentic. And at Frank and Harvey, I'm trying to build this company where we take the tangled ball of yarn that is your marketing strategy, we untangle it, and find the common thread with a common voice that is your brand. And then we turn it into content that hopefully helps move the needle. So I'm really excited about showing you guys a little bit of behind the scenes of that whole branding process as we build a new website, new logo. Probably going to do some shirts. I almost forgot. The Frank and Harvey hotline is open for questions, but nobody's been calling. Nobody's been asking about marketing, brand building, and of course your questions about fashion. So call in at 872-262-0870. And thanks for watching, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. As always, here's a list of services we offer. Hit me up if you need help with any of these.